When you think of chess, what do you associate it with? Maybe a nerdy kid or something that's complex and hard to understand. Personalities can also be hard to understand and complex. That's why I think it's appropriate to use chess as a metaphor to describe one's personality. Personally, I think the rook piece describes my personality best. It's a balanced piece that can be used well with other pieces, but also strives on its own. This speech is about how my personality is straightforward, neutral, risk-averse, and my good ability to work well with others. I'll be drawing parallels between the rook piece, my personality, and using the game of chess as a metaphor. The first parallel I draw between myself and the rook is that I'm a pretty straightforward kind of guy. I don't tend to go off my plan and I stick to it. I'm not bad per se at thinking outside the box, but I prefer to stay by the book. Using a known way to do something is much easier to me than finding a new approach to do it. And I know what I want and I don't really tend to sway from it. I like to stay more on the path most traveled, but like I said earlier, I'm not a follower per se. Doing things that I know and like are most comfortable to me. I'm not a very big risk taker either. Not taking risks moves me to my next point. I like to think strategically and play the long game. Rooks are blocked by pawns at the start of the game and are usually on the defensive first. This I translate to being loyal and making few but very good friends. And while rooks can be great offensively at the start, keeping them for the end to defend is most advantageous for a player. Like I said, rooks can play good offense and defense. They can each eliminate one row or column just by where they can move, and they excel at keeping opposition pieces from getting to your own major pieces like your king or your queen. Likewise, the rook not only defends and it attacks well in unison with other pieces. I draw a parallel here to my good ability to work in teams and also working well on my own. Most checkmates happen with rooks, whether it be with two rooks, a rook and a queen, a rook and a king, or any other piece. Rooks can combo well with other pieces together, and although they can combo well with any other piece, two rooks work best together. Which, like I said earlier, I tend to stick to people that are similar to me, yet I make really good friends, but not too many of them. Rooks can take out many pieces on their own through their offensive capabilities. They're very flexible with a whole column or a row being able to be used or played. And they can reach any spot on their respective rank or column, a rank being horizontal or column being vertical. This brings my speech to its conclusion. I enjoy playing chess, and I recently started playing it with my friends. That's why I picked a chess piece to use for this metaphor speech. The rook embodies a lot of what I like to identify myself with. It's pretty simple and, like I said, straightforward. And I think that's because I don't really like to deviate from my norms. The rook is good because it's simple and it's a piece that can be used in many parts of the game. I think that I work well with other people as well as on my own, and that's also something that the rook excels for. Overall, I think that the rook describes me as a person very well.